talking summer heat now. We all know it's important to not get too much sun, right? But how much more important is that for people fighting autoimmune diseases? Our friend and lupus surviving doctor who overcame everything through her own nutrition system joins us live now. Dr. Goldner, we always love checking in with you. You've become a fan favorite here on the show. We actually want to point out, I know you sent us this, but a viewer commented on Facebook, quote, "I saw you on WFF 48 2 years ago, and that was day one of me starting to heal." What does feedback like this mean to you, knowing your personal journey changing so many people's lives?
You know, every day that I suffered with lupus, whether it was kidney failure or mini strokes or arthritis, every single day of that's worth it now because of the thousands of people I've been able to help reverse their illnesses like me. So this year, it'll be 17 years that I've been free from all symptoms of lupus and off my medicines. And it's just been an incredible journey to be able to share that and help so many other people feel better too. So comments like that are the best.
Yeah, well, Dr. Goldner, again, we adore you, and again, know that your journey is so powerful. We will say to our viewers who want to learn more, head on over to our website to watch previous interviews with her. But kind of with that, Dr. Goldner, too, I mean, I think there's something so powerful in having a doctor who gets it, right? I mean, there's something to be said about having a medical professional fighting for you who's fought that same disease.
Absolutely. I always tell people, long before I had the white coat, I wore that drafty patient gown, and I know what it's like to sit there and be vulnerable and in pain and just hope that the person standing in front of you in that white coat understands and can help you. And I understand that vulnerability. It's why I spend 75 minutes with my patients, because I want to spend that time to get to know them, to hold their hand, to help them understand that I'm there and that I understand them. I give them all my cell phone numbers so they can text me if they need help. I want to be there for them so that they know they're not alone, and then ultimately that they don't need me anymore. And then they just get to send me pictures of them vacationing and having fun and living a good life. And so it really does make a difference, having experienced it for myself and really knowing what it's like. I'm rooting for every single one of them to get better.
Well, Dr. Goldner, again, can I just say we need more medical professionals like you. I mean, I've watched my mother go through her own medical journey, and we need more doctors with that kind of bedside manner and that level of compassion that you bring. So thank you so much for bringing that to the workforce. We know you've shared a lot of tips.
I'm sorry about your mom.
Yeah, she's doing better now. So she's doing a lot better now. But again, just having those medical professionals, like yourself, that really care. I mean, even hearing that you give out your cell phone number is incredible. So, okay, we know you've shared a lot of tips here on the show with us, but this morning we're specifically talking about sun exposure, right? What's the connection here between sun and autoimmune diseases?
So a lot of people with autoimmune diseases like lupus will have a sensitivity to the sun. They call it photosensitivity. I had that myself when I had lupus back in the day, where being in the sun for too long, or for some people even momentarily, can cause major symptoms. I know when I was in the sun, when I was struggling with lupus, I would get my rash across my face, I'd get migraines, I'd be vomiting. So it would be days that it would take me to recover from just a trip to the pool. So I had to really avoid the sun during the day. I did not go out between the times of 11 and 3 or 4 o'clock, because otherwise it would ruin the next few days of my life trying to recover from it. I call it my vampire days. I said I could have been on the cast of Twilight back then, because I was so pale with black hair. I looked like a vampire. And getting the sun back was one of the best things that happened to me. Living with pain was easier than living without the sun. So it is a difficult thing. And so folks really, really have to be careful. If you're someone who has photosensitivity, of course, first of all, let's work on reversing that disease as much as you can. Eat healthy, take great care of yourself so you can minimize the disease. But while you're sick, you also have to make sure that you avoid the sun. And there's many ways to do it. I mean, one, as I mentioned, avoiding the hottest parts of the day is really important. Make sure that you are sheltered, that you are in the shade or indoors when the sun is really strong. Two, there's a lot of really cool UV safe clothing. When I was a kid with lupus, we didn't have all the clothing we have now, where you can wear thin, breathable clothes that are also UV protective. The physical shields work the best. So the clothing, the shade, and also things like the mineral sunblocks that really make a protective shield between you and the environment. And they also tend to have less side effects. Also chemical sunblocks, the ones that are at least, I say at least least 50 sunblock when you're someone who's sensitive to that. You reapply every 2 to 3 hours, depending if you're indoors or outdoors, to make sure that you stay as safe as you can. You have to be very careful. I know when I overcame lupus, the first thing I did was get a convertible. And I was, sun. But in the meantime, protecting yourself is really important. And actually for everyone, even without autoimmune disease, when it's 90s to 100, wearing some sunblock is a good idea.
Yeah, always very good information. Well, Dr. Goldner, thank you so much for coming on. We always learn such great tips from you. And again, we know a lot of people battle these autoimmune diseases in your changing lives. Again, we know that even just from that TVL viewer. So thank you again so much. Happy summer to you. Stay safe out there. And again,
thanks. It was great to see you.
We'll check back in soon. Thanks, Dr. Goldner.